people are really excited. They would like to know what applications integrate with your analytics cloud. We saw a couple, but if you could expand a little bit more.
Yeah, so at the moment, Analytics Cloud is intended for a lot of the customers that we've historically worked with, which are GP-based customers. So SalesPad has the workflow capabilities and Sales Monitor that shows a lot of, for instance, like the process that distribution operations run through. We built that to mirror a lot of that and amp that up with a lot more information there as well. So it works for the GP environment, pulling that data through. It's being extended to also work with Business Central. So as we have our distribution cloud product, which is moving into the cloud-based side with Business Central, Analytics Cloud will be configured to support that as well. But kind of like in that pyramid diagram that I showed before, it's building upon the ERP and stacking on top of that. We have plans to also move into other areas as well for other ERP systems, so that really this becomes more or less system agnostic for the underlying transactional system. We can provide the similar insights for those other ERPs.
So that sounds great. So right now, if you're in GP or BC, you can use this data analytics cloud and then take it with you no matter where you decide to go. So it really separates your back-end decision from your front-end application that your users use and are used to seeing on an everyday basis. Love it. Smart. Let me ask you a couple other questions. So you kind of touched into this a little bit. So we're talking about some real-world examples where you see a warehouse manager or an ops or a sales manager, how they're using Analytics Cloud and the improvements that they're seeing.
Right, yeah. So where I've seen this come into play is that a tangible, a real example that I experienced and heard from a customer. They were looking at this and they put it into place that they had a margin threshold put on that was going to save them 6 figures in potential issues that could arise. They built they sell both machinery and the consumable equipment that goes along with the machinery. So think there's the big machine and then the sanding pads that go along with it, the lower value items. Now, it's a little bit different, but the way that they were building those out is these orders would be these really valuable, expensive machines, and then adding on these other line items, which are lower value. Sometimes they're kind of just thrown in to secure the sale of that much more valuable piece of equipment. Well, they built these out so that there was a margin evaluation going in place on there as well, just to make sure that, well, as these bundles are being built and these large orders were being entered, if it had come through and triggered that it was perhaps not meeting a margin on there, again, low volume distributor, so they really cared about, like, well, every dollar counts on these orders. If that moved through, that would notify them that there was something wrong with that order before it went out. So the margin swing, if it were even a couple percent on there, they're talking tens of thousands of dollars plus or minus on the order value there. So they were able to catch those, and over the course of the year, it was found that would produce 6-figure profitability improvement by being able to prevent those low margin orders going out.
So one alert saves 6 figures. And that's just one example of what the company can do.
Yeah.
So data analytics pays for itself multiple times over.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So it's also something that they don't have to then worry about having happen and then trying to recoup on the back end. They're going to know about it as soon as it is entered, so that it can get fixed before anything gets miscommunicated out to their customers as well. So they're going to know about it right away. That's the real-time nature of it that was also really important to them.
Wow, amazing. So Dynavistics has been a long-term supporter of SalesPad and Cavallo, and this is one of the reasons why. It's smart, it's applicable, it's easy to use, And I think this data analytics cloud is just going to take it to the next level and really help execs make some good decisions.
Yeah, in its current form, in that process performance piece, it's already driving measurable change at a lot of our customers. And then if that's not even the applicable area of concern, say we had a company that dealt in Christmas products. Well, they came to us and said, well, that's great, that's really helpful, but we don't really worry about the speed of orders, because we know our orders all have to fulfill around Christmas time. So it was valuable to know as well. Well, process performance, that's not for them, but they do also care about who they are selling to and so on. So there's many future aspects of it that are, if not directly applicable today, that I think will hit on distributors of all types.